Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I often use Lenormand though, so I don't know what to call my channel anymore other than I'm just here. I'm Denise. Today I want to read on it's come up in the news that there's been identity fraud, scammers, hackers who have stolen 200 billion of the 400 billion that was allotted for COVID relief. Part of it's COVID relief programs, but part of it's because of unemployment, things like that. It's happened through all the different states. And I want to look and see who's to blame for this. I mean, of course, some of it has to do with, or a lot of it would have to do with old computer systems within the states that are easy to hack and get people's information, but it's being done through identity fraud, and sometimes they'll be like 20 different accounts with the same I guess social security number, 20 different identities. So there's that's been happening, but I want to look and see, is this like, who's to blame? Is it the past administration? Or is it the current administration, or is it a combination of both? And this is just a a major problem because, of course, all of this will end up being paid by the taxpayers and may even be on our children and grandchildren's backs, right? I mean, that's how it goes. So feels like a big can of worms, but I'm going to open it up and see which ones are crawling around. Okay, so let me drop the camera down and I'll get this going. Okay, as usual, I'm going to use the maybe Lenormand. 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 Oh, I suck at French. Anyway, so which administration is to blame? Oh, and is it both? I don't know. Who's responsible for this, for all these foreign scammers and hackers who've been able to steal the identities of all these Americans and who've managed to steal $200 billion from these programs to support COVID relief? So if I get the man card, it'll be Biden. If I get the House card, that's going to be that's going to be my stand-in for the each of the states, all the state governments who haven't kept their computer systems up to date, that allowed hacking to get in, because we do have every state has its own unemployment website, unemployment support. That's how it goes. So how much of it is old computer systems fault, through each state? How much of it could be the system that was in place that needs to be shored up from Trump's administration? And he would be, of course, the 45 card. And well, let's see, because maybe it's all of the above, Let's see what the truth is there. Okay. So I'm going to draw 21 cards and do a little, kind of a mini grand tableau. And feel free to timestamp it for me if anyone's up for that. I think that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. There's our hacker card right there. Wow. Okay. success, hack, data hacking, data scraping. Been going on for a long time. Oh boy. Okay. Right there, yeah. Oh, who is she? I wasn't allowing for any woman to pop in. And there's the system. So this should all be just as to the past, but I might do an add-on to see. Hey, I counted right! Yay! I might do an add-on to see the future of this. Will this be fixed? You know, we need a fix in here, right? So right here, here's our theme. 45 didn't come through, but we do have something old. And a lot of something old, like old transactions. Oh, I wish I would have thought of like who would be the woman card, because sure as hell isn't Melania or Jill Biden. Oh, it's that thing again. Okay, so this is a good little learning lesson for if you're reading Lenormand for yourself at home, whether it's this deck or just the regular 36 card deck. And let's say you're not asking about a person or even yourself. The woman card can come in as the stand-in for reception. And the man card can come in as the stand-in for active, you know. And this can be intuition, and the masculine can be rational. So this is the reception. This is the reception. The ability for it to, you know, for this hacking. Let's read the four corners first, actually, and then I'll focus in here, I think. The system, this, oh goodness, the system is too friendly for hackers. And that's at the heart that allows things to pump into the system of our governments, you know, state and federal. And there needs to be change. What they have done, I'm getting a second little layer here. What they have done is they've tried to create a system that makes it easy for people to access, but they need to make things more strict, like maybe with, you know, like that. Well, besides the secure socket layer, SSL, to also have, you know, like the two-step authentication before you can sign in. And it looks to me like not all states have done that, because we've got the opportunity here for this, you know, conflict. Yeah, because I'm feeling this is for certain public. Now, on another level, it's the reputation. So maybe I am getting the, you know, what's going to happen in the future as well. The reputation needs to be strengthened. Access is too risky. So, okay, so now let's focus here, and then I'll combine, of course, everything here, and then I'll try to remember to like mirror in. But sometimes it's just another step that gives me redundant information. But okay, but the key thing is the reception for people to come in, you know, hackers to get in and out and create changes, you know, which is to hack in and see data that's been there for a very long time and can create a transaction. That's the problem. That's the problem. Here's the problem, right? Duh, but the cards are confirming. So bear with me. So the data that's important has been able to, you know, it's been received. Important data has been received. The key in the solution, and they've been able to like scrape it and and then change it the way that they want, of course, and add another person's identity to that Social Security number. But so we've got this, so the nefarious, the stealing, the theft, I mean, this is absolutely the fraud, right? It's been more powerful than the people who are responsible for protecting, the abundance. So even though Trump's card didn't come through, we have to know that the old administration and the prior administrations before that, I mean, this is how the RNC got hacked and the DNC. It's the same old. It's the same old story. It's the same old, just ridiculous story. It's too helpful for the fraudsters to get in and, have access. Yeah, cutting in, hacking into funds to prosperity is just all a part of the system. So this feels to me like it's like it was, I was kind of feeling when I was shuffling, like, is it all of the above? Is it both administrations and is it the state? We've got both. I mean, we have federal and we have state right here. Because this whole spread is just to see whose fault is it. So, past old administrations, as well as, it was, the whole thing is just set up. It's just too helpful for these fraudsters to get in. Yeah, there's the opening. There's the opportunity is a key word for Clover. There's the opportunity. It can be like a good luck and a recovery card, but I see it as sometimes riskiness and the ability to get into something, of course, is what's going on here. With this conflict, with this dueling card here, that's an attack. That is literally transactional. It's been going on for a long time, and it's a transactional attack where these fraudsters, scammers, data scrapers can see in. They can see in and just take it. So yes, state level, they've been the target. That's been a goal. Jeez. And I guess it was, most of it was from the Nigerian prince that emails you, an offer of whatever. Oh God, I used to get those all the time. I still get. You guys, you know what I get lately? Oh my goodness. And this is a completely different subject, but I get these emails from, I don't know who. I've turned them over. I've forwarded them to YouTube, because what they're offering is to you can buy subscribers. You can buy subscribers and you can buy likes. And it used to just be buying a subscriber. And then now it's buying, besides likes, you can also buy views. So, wow. Right? And it's like, who would want to do that? Who in the world would, people just to make money. That's who would want to do it. But I would never want to do that, because I wouldn't know how my channel was really doing. How would I know that my content is valuable if I'm going to pay for it, right? I mean, that's just ridiculous. So anyway, they are getting, my point is that scammers and hackers are getting really tricky, and we have to be very aware. We have to be very, very aware. So focusing in on this, I feel like this is the major problem right here, this box. The major problem is that there's too much reception as to keys in, as to unlocking, the door and getting in, and then making the changes and creating a way to get the transactions, like get the money into the target where they want it to go. So I guess the way it would work is that a person would have, well, they can make their own fake accounts and get benefits. I guess that's just what it is. Fake accounts to receive benefits, and that's the way in. And a person wouldn't even know that their social security number had been used like that. Because it's different than, like myself, I have my credit, I have a freeze on my credit, so somebody can't just use my my social security number to get a credit card, or a loan of any kind. But when it's used when social security numbers are stolen for identity theft to create a separate account that gives benefits, then that's another whole animal. That's another whole animal. And, in this diamond right here, we can see that this, the key in to receive these benefits and create the change is, that's the power that happened. And these people can just go back and hide in their cave, and meanwhile they're sucking the benefits out from the system. They're literally sucking, like the roots of a big, the taproot of a big oak tree, sucking the money out of, the system, and the system sucking the money out of the system. But this goal that is proving to be a big, big burden. This is a card of grief and burdens. So this is going to be a big burden. Wow. This 9-card box here, I think, is speaking, it was, kind of have 3 stories, 3 parts of the same story. So at the core here, we have, of course, the fraudsters, the scam artists, the con getting in. But the whole system, the way the system is set up, it's too damn helpful for these dangerous scammers to get in and hack the data and see. They've got, it's like, oh, well, here, I have the key, I can figure it out. And then down at the bottom, they have control over what would be, so it's our, personal data, and then they have control over the opulence, the money that's been provided for us, and the responsible parties are not protecting it. So 200 billion of the 400 billion has been stolen. They were estimating it was like between 87 million and 400 billion, but then they figured out half of that 400 billion has been stolen. That's a lot of money. In this diagonal right here, it's like, the hacking, scamming, that it will prove to be this huge burden. And then this diagonal here is the data that the scammers got, and they're just sucking it out. I mean, it's really an awful thing. But in this diamond here, maybe on another level, it's saying that those scammers will be seen as well. I think what I need to do is just reshuffle and ask, and let's see if it'll be stopped. But before I do that, I want to look at this part over here, because often it can be like past, present, and future. If that's the case, and I probably won't really know until because I wanted to know what happened. I don't think I'll know unless I reshuffle and get some of these same cards, but we'll see. I better just stick, honestly, and with second thought here. I better, in hindsight, I think I better, as I'm talking myself through it, I think I better stick with my original question as to who's responsible, and because I've got this third part over here. So, who's responsible is the federal government, who's been way too risky, and then all the state websites, way too risky, too open, and they've been targeted. Yeah, they can see, when the hackers get in, they can see the transactions. And of course they can make the changes. It might be that this card might just be saying as well that it's a twofold approach that changed or created the change. Twofold as in state and federal. Yeah, because I wanted to know, was it both or was it just one? So I can't say that I can blame it on any administration per se, but just that everything is way too open and receptive. Okay, so let me reshuffle and see. Let me see if, let's see if I can get this shuffled in a better way. So because you guys know I tend to draw to the right. I want to know, are they going to get this under control? Will this be gotten under control? Will this be contained? Will this sucking, out of the... How's it going to go? Will it be contained? Will it be stopped? What is the future of this? I mean, if they've already stolen half of it, I would think it would be really hard to recover, from all these individual little players, right? I mean, so recovering half of it that's been stolen, that sounds to me like that's impossible. Will the protections, will the blockade, how's it going to go? Okay. How's it going to go? Here, 11, 12. If anybody feels up to doing timestamps for me, I'll love you forever. Oops. Oh, this might have to do with COVID relief because of, yeah, because I'm sure Trump isn't going to be helping anything. Or his past administration. They're not going to help anything. But maybe there's something from his administration. Oh, this is an interesting combo there. Okay. Whoa. Wow, okay. Well, there's the man, so that's Biden. Okay, so as far as the let's do the four corners first. They're watching, investigating, looking into. Their attention has been, there's attention has been given. It's been given attention. Probably mostly from the public, and this would also be to our excellent investigative journalists who, discover what happens. Yeah. Independent, public, and investigative journalists. I'm just hearing them. I can't say that this is what exactly the cards mean, but this is what I'm hearing. They've been watching. So we can thank them to keep working, keep continuing that on. There's a lot of power there to block the predatory relationship, or the predatory ways of these people getting in. There needs to be choices. So they will be watching, observing, and choices to continue to say what's wrong and put it out into the news. So we can thank these news reporters who are keeping an eye on this. And like the Brennan Center for Justice and NAACP, all these organizations that try to protect. Oh, it makes me, take my hat off to Elizabeth Warren as well. But this is Biden. He has lots of control. I mean, at the base here, this is Biden with some abilities, but then this is all the weight on him. So there's attraction and commitment. Biden is, well, it's complicated. It's complicated, and there's, this is a card of betrayal. But complications in commitment, I feel like this is more COVID than 45. I feel like this is more COVID. Yeah, it's a complicated situation. This is literally the money in the account falling out. But that, I'm reading about the future, so maybe what's going to happen is there's going to be some assets released. Maybe Biden is attracted to throwing some money at this to get rid of these predators. Throwing some new money at it to try and, well, at least to take care of the federal end of it. But that might mean he might be committing to help some states out if they'll actually do it, though. But yeah, he's like, I think he feels like it's complicated and it could be tricky because, if you're the governor in some of these states that, there's so many of them that just don't care. But in the future, the newscasters, the investigative journalists will keep an eye on it. But these cards together, well, it could be there will be some revealing the theft. You know what? Oh, I'd see now. My pea brain couldn't imagine going after each and every little one of them, but these two cards certainly look like stopping all these small little scam artists, putting them under great stress. On another level, this is the commitment to COVID relief is about to end. And part of the choice to be made around that has to do with also ending the theft. And, that kind of makes sense because they're doing their best to move forward with infrastructure, the infrastructure package, and I think they're working hard on both H.R. 1 and H.R. 4 for voting rights. And, they're fighting. They're fighting to keep the GOP predatory nature out of our voting system, the gerrymandering and all that. Anyway, back to just the future as to stopping this type of a leak. It looks to me, honestly, if I just kind of sit back and take in all these cards without poking at each one, I feel like it's the way it's going to be handled is they're just going to stop the fundage. They're literally going to stop the money flow that can be the seduction for these predators to get in. There's protection. There's protection over these dangerous enemies, predatory, peeps that's complicating everything. So I think they're just going to stop that. They're going to stop the way the scammers get in. These cards are actually good for it not happening again. But then again, too, I really feel like, cleanup on aisle 45 is just, it's like there's so much energy, assets, resources. This is more than money. It's what you've got. It's what you have as safe, like in your safe, in your vault. And there's only so much. There's only so much time, energy, and money to handle all these issues. We have Afghanistan. We have cleanup on aisle 45. Now this other stuff. And we have this fight to keep from having an authoritarian dictatorship type of baloney, malarkey, as Biden would say, coming in. On another level, Biden is here trying to be very protective over, these hidden dangers and hidden enemies. That's a real public problem. These cards together are really strong in the hidden enemy department. You imagine hiking in the mountains and what's around the bend. Well, it could be a friggin' rattlesnake to bite you, right? That's what's out there in the public. And meanwhile, he's smack dab down here in the bottom of the reading, and all of this is on top of him. And he's got to think of new ways to, even communicate. My goodness, if anybody has anything derogatory to say about a 77-year-old man, being president, well, you know what? You can take those type of ideas and put them somewhere else, because I'm not going to take them in. I mean, we got to give him kudos to the fact that he's able to, keep up and handle everything. Of course, he's really good. He's really, really good at, he's very well resourced and safe in the fact that he can attract people who will commit and help him getting through this. These cards right here around him, like the diamond, are beautiful. Even though he's in a very complicated situation, especially with COVID, he's trying to get everybody vaccinated, for Pete's sake, right? So there's so much. But, anybody wants to make fun of Biden, I think you have to question your sanity, these people that do that. Whew. Well, best I can say is let's send Biden lots and lots and lots of love and support and well wishes, and just keep loving him up every day. Because I think he's the one that's going to help get things going in the right direction and keep things moving the right way. So big hugs and prayers of love and support, seeing, always praying in the affirmative as we see him as strong and healthy, and, nobody putting slippery oil on the on the steps going up to the plane again. And my goodness, and remember he got back up and back up and back up, you know what I mean? Somebody definitely put something on those steps that one time. But anyway, let's affirm that he has an incredible, strong support system around him, and they are all helping him in this very complicated situation, especially committed. I can see he's very committed to COVID relief and COVID support, and because it's like if everybody's dead, there's no one left. What's the use, right? He's good at knowing first things first. That's what somebody with a stellium of, where's his chart? I have his chart around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Dude has, didn't think I was going to get into this. Dude has 4 planets in Scorpio. He loves getting to the bottom of things, and he doesn't give up easy. Scorpios are great. Scorpios and Cancers are good at tenacity, but Scorpio wants to really get to the bottom of it. Cancers are very protective. Scorpios will, you might not see what's coming at you because they're good. And he's got Pluto transiting through his second house at this time. Pluto and Saturn going through his, Saturn's over here by now. But the second house is safety and well-being and what he really values. So he's like the perfect person to get us where we want to go. But you don't mess with somebody with this many planets in Scorpio, and especially when 3 of them are in the 12th house, and he's got a Sag ascendant, which has this, fighting instinct to get to the truth, find the truth, get to the bottom of things, and get to the truth. And Virgo up on his midheaven. Neptune in Libra says that he definitely wants, absolutely wants justice and fairness and peace and equality. And this is his sourcing in that ability, his authority in his ability to reach across the aisle. But with Virgo up here on his midheaven, he's good at discerning and tracking details and, filtering through things and then figuring out which way to go. And Virgo's his midheaven as well. His Pisces South Node speaks to how he has the pure potential for moving. Sorry about my chicken scratch here. These are where the transits were a long time ago. But he has the pure potential for, in his mind, going to a really big place and getting to the bottom of things and then creating solutions. And his Taurus moon, further reinforces, that he wants safety. And Uranus has already crossed over his moon. It's actually probably in here. Yeah, we really do need to send him lots of support and help because it's the 6th house can be health problems that are kind of stressful. But yeah, he has support that way though, so that's good. Moon square Pluto, yeah, don't mess with him. Natally, Moon square Pluto, don't mess with him. That's for darn sure. And he's got this finger of God, finger of fate in his chart. 2 in conjunction, 1 sextile. So from his past life, commitment, past life, sourcing in pure potentiality and something that's much bigger than, trying to complete something as well, but much bigger than just the mind. Up here too, Neptune, which is the Pisces planet, and in the 10th house of authority and public, it's like he said, I feel at his life, way after his life review, and he's like worried, or not worried, working with his guides and guardian angels to figure out his next lifetime. I felt like he said, I want to help. I want to help. I want to be a bridge for peace. I want to help. And put me where I can help in tangible ways. Put me in a place where I can, get to the place where I can create. I will try to provide safety. And that's what I'm seeing here. Literally. Yeah. And Saturn and Gemini and Uranus and Gemini, that's nothing to sneeze at either. As far as the ability to communicate. But it is square. See, oh gosh, he's got the same thing I have in my chart. When you have something, so here are the nodes, like South Node here, North Node here. And when you have planets squaring the nodes, that means that you didn't get to finish what you were going after in your past lifetime. So it's another, of course, who knows how many hundreds of lifetimes it might take in order to finish out, your higher self intentions. But the deal is, Saturn and Uranus has to do with like conditioning in the masses, and then your Saturn, that's conditioning with the time, the era of the masses, and then Uranus can kind of free and break things up. So he came in to break up the way things were that weren't working. And on a global level like that, who could finish something like that in one lifetime? Makes me wonder who the heck he was in his last lifetime. Because we've got spiritual authority here and here. I often look at the 12th house as being a very vocational house. I don't look at just the 6th or the 10th. I look a lot at the 12th, and he's got it there. It's like unity, consciousness that goes deep. Not that anybody's perfect, right? But then thinking deeply, thinking for solutions, going deep, and then really, really wants to transform, really, really wants things to be better. Better. Yeah. Okay. Well, didn't mean to do this. If you're an astrologer and you wanted to know his time on birth time, place, all that's right there. And for now, I'm just going to close this up and get this uploaded for you. Okay. Hope everyone's well. Take good care. Bye.